Hello and good morning and season's greetings and Happy New Year to you and to yours. Once again, India doing stuff where they're breaking down barriers, they're breaking down walls. Fortresses are gone, my head is gone, the year is gone. Dean Elgar's gone, de Kock's gone. Okay? This is brought to you by ATCO, India's leading digital insurance company. Some of these grounds might need some insurance because Jesus Christ, will this team ever stop winning? And it's annoying me because this is the end of Test cricket, okay? Pez, hi.
Hey, he goes, hi.
Mate, that was, I was foolish yesterday when I said, mate, I reckon this is going to be a bit close. How dumb am I? That's dumb. It's dumb.
Pretty clinical win for India. You know, now because of the YouTube comments, which just tumble in front of me like zeros and ones in Goodwill Hunting, like I feel like every time we compliment India, people are going to say, you're pandering. You're not pandering if they're just winning heaps of shit. I'll talk about their weaknesses all day, but there was a golf, and I do actually off air to my wife who shoos me away
ad nauseum.
Use Latin there, but there was a golfing class here. He goes, I felt from day one, KL Rahul's surgically precise century built on defense and patience, invoking the Dravidian kind of spirit. With 320 odd on the board was already enough, and they were just in control from there on. The only thing they were racing was the weather, and they did it in plenty of time. So, when you're a better team than the other team, and you win in grade cricket, and this is the great explainer, it's just let's just get to training, boys. Just keep the winning feeling.
Oh, nice.
It really is just let's just get the training. I really look. A lot of people want to wax lyrical, and we will too, about the meaning of this win, and there is meaning to it because it's Centurion, it's fortress shit. I don't know, South Africa is a bit how you're going, but it is meaningful because a couple of years ago they didn't really win games like this. So to the first thing while I'm here, it is just Centurion conquered. I wanted to kind of know what you thought about it, like if you like to bookend things, and I know you do in particular.
Yeah, I'm a bookend guy.
You bookend feelings. It started with the Gabba, and it ended with Centurion this year. Is it a bit of cool thy jet stuff because it's South Africa, or are we working this myth now that India's conquering all before it, apart from a couple of things here and there?
South Africa have lost so many players. We were saying this on one of the shows the other day, like not just through just their greats retiring, but also Kolpak guys who would be in this squad at least. So, and look, you look at, I think now that de Kock's gone, they've only got 3 guys in their team who have scored Test hundreds. So like let's not kid ourselves here. It ain't a great team. But it's still, they're still, fucking Ngidi got his first ever 6 for, most ever, he got 8 for the game, I think, and that's his most ever, so he performed well. They've still got Rabada in the team. It's still okay, and they're playing at home. And I look at South Africa. South Africa's wickets are so much bouncier than what Australia's are now, and so I think it's even more foreign for these Indian bats, I think, to go to South Africa than what it might even be for Australia, for instance, because I don't think we see that ever since the football grounds took over here. Like we don't see that same like trampoline shit. It's still bouncy. Don't get me wrong, but it's not South Africa fucking through the chest shit anymore. So you have to pay it, and and obviously really reluctantly I have to pay that.
That's what people are tuning in today saying. Like, are the boys going to pay it? Are you
paying it? I'll have a look at it, mate. I'm thinking though, and maybe let us know in the comments or not. Do whatever you want. I don't care. Has an Indian Test team ever had a better year? Like I know they've had years where they win heaps of shit at home, but they play at home. Mate, this is doing what they couldn't do a few years ago, and they won in England. Winning in Australia. I know they did that 2 years before, but there was caveats around no Smith, no Warner, that kind of shit. That was a good Australian team. We've seen what happened with England a year later. And now they're doing it in South Africa, winning in. I was not aware that Centurion was a thing. But people are saying on comms, so what am I supposed to do with that? If fucking ignore it? You think I'm going to ignore Sean Pollock? Come on.
No, you never ignore Polly. Yeah, South Africa have only lost 3 times in 27 tests. at Centurion.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, a bit of Equinox stuff, I guess. I don't know who those 3 games were and whatever. I think with India, there's a really funny conversation going on in world cricket at the moment as we watch Australia decimate, hilarious, decimate England. That like you can go about analysing results in 2 ways. You can praise the team that won, or say that the team that lost is horrendous and it's partly due to structural change in the cricketing economy, which means a lot of countries
are
deprioritising red ball cricket, which just kind of leaves the team that won going like, oh, all right, so we're just the last people standing. I mean, India have made South Africa to look pretty ordinary. They just and this team, they are different from the ones that came before, because India have always had good sticks. We know that, and they have had good bowlers. But the depth of their bowlers now is what I think separates them from teams before. They won this game on the back of bowling, I think, and they've won 4 away tests this year, which is pretty rare for them, I think. Let us know in the comments. And I think the quicks make the difference. I think Sean Polly actually said that, and again, I'd never disagree with Polly.
Nope.
KL Rahul, player of the match. I mean, India are doing this stuff this year without even having, statistically, a super dominant batsman. Batter in world cricket. The big boys are actually battling for runs, and so there's other guys just stepping up. Rohit, KL Rahul, so all looking pretty good, and they did it while losing a day to rain.
Yeah, good point. I forgot about that because I almost died myself. I lost quite a bit to rain. Mate, it's interesting in the context of trying to place the Indian team at the moment, because they're definitely ascending to something if they're not already there. But because of their year, the World Test Championship was supposed to be the jewel in the crown, but they've won everywhere else. They just can't they couldn't beat New Zealand in England. So what does that mean?
Well, that's the ultimate question, isn't it? You think you've conquered the world, but have you conquered it if you haven't beaten New Zealand in Southampton in a 6-dayer?
That's right. When you announce a team 2 days before, foolish. But then also, if I was Kiwi, I was saying, well, hang on, we fucking smashed them when they came out to New Zealand last year or whenever that was, and then then they beat them at home or whatever. I don't know. But you look at this team, it's like, geez, they're winning a lot of games in every conditions, and they're doing it in ways that we haven't seen before. But usually we've seen our generation, when they took on our great Australian team, it was just Ganguly, Dravid, Laxman, Tendulkar, Sehwag, just fucking battered the shit out of us, just runs. But this is a far better team. This is the best Indian team that I've seen in my lifetime. So that must mean a lot to them.
Yeah, people have been waiting for that. What does Higgins think about where this team ranks? Second one, Higgins. So
what the fuck do rankings mean when Mitchell Stark is a better all-rounder than Ben Stokes, or Labuschagne's a number 1 Test bat? Hey, these are all good players, but what? Anyway, carry on.
Let's talk about what happened yesterday. So it was just the BUMRAH and SHAMI show. So look, South Africa started brightly enough. They, they scored quickly, first 10 or so overs, and then Elgar just went way too far across with one ball that BUMRAH sort of got to swing after at pitch. So those two things combined are not going to be good. And he was smashed on the pad and gone. It was the lone hand from Elgar of 77 runs. Obviously, people tune in to get the actual stats, which is why I've said that.
That's right.
Kock came in, wanted to smack it around. But, it's kind of like being faced with a long queue for beer and going, I'm going to go around the side of the bar and order one. It's low percentage and it's not going to happen. And he got out in that manner. It was the first thing I thought, He was just trying to smack it around. He drags one.
Oh, he's gone on the side of the bar there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He dragged one on to Siraj, who, did what he did. I know you tweeted about Siraj as well overnight. I presume that was when he was reacting to the Cock's wicket.
No, it was when he pegged the ball back at BUMRAH, then kind of appealed, and then got upset when the physio came out. Siraj is a bit of a weapon, isn't he? And am I talking about his bowling or is him as a bloke? You decide. Could be both. Could be both. Apparently he when he was in England, he was taking on the English crowd, and then every time he got a wicket, he was he used to do the shush. Now he's doing the Ronaldo Sue. And the shush was apparently to silence the haters, which I wasn't aware that there was any. But Yeah.
Yeah.
But mate, what about?
Can I say
thought
something about Siraj?
I want you to.
I like. I think there's enough peaceful guys in the Indian side. Like, we talk about balance and rounding things out. Like, I do think they need a nutter. Like, Kohli's kind of been the lone hand for them. But, like, he's young. He's going to do a bit of how you going stuff. But I'd prefer that than an inert robot. Just in terms of watching the Indian cricket team, which we do. I want a bit of carry on in the Indian side. I want to feel something. Which is kind of what underpins all of my views, just what can help me feel in this dystopian world we live in. But
of course.
And it's a very minor point in the scheme of things, but I also think he's a good bowler.
He's such a red mistman.
Yeah. Red mist.
When he paid the ball back at Boom, he did apologise to him at the end of the over, and it was all sweet. Like, it's not even a thing, but it's like, just in the context of, mate, how fucking loud the Indians were in the field yesterday. I was like, I've played against that team and I'm getting out in the next 5 minutes. Like, every ball I'm getting out, I'm just, the cacophony of noise is too scary for me.
Yeah.
I'm turning around, I'm kicking them over. It's too much. And then fucking Punt's talking to Bajara about what's for lunch. So he doesn't give a fuck. Siraj is doing his thing. He's doing some Ronaldo shit. He's throwing balls back. There's like this lovely mix. Like, it's a wave that I'm riding and I don't know what it is, but like, if they're going to be the best, you got to have, like, because my team's not the Indian cricket team, so like, I've got to have a few guys. I'm like, nah. Like, they've got to have a few devils, you know.
You need
Red Devils, Man United Red Devils.
Well, and that's why he's doing the Ronaldo thing. I thought he was actually just talking about suing people for sledging him. And then anyway, Mr. Seam presentation, Shami himself got a couple.
God.
And Ashwin got in on the act at the end. Just an aside, like, the game's over, but like, that particular shot that Kagiso Rabada played, like, I just want to say, it's nothing against Kagiso Rabada, but like, that particular style of shot where you basically lazily try and drive a ball that's not there, that pops up to point or backward point. I've done it many times myself. Like, that particular dismissal is the one that suggests or lets everyone know that you don't want to be there. Like, that, truly, like, there's no shot that is more communicative of that. It was just like, Ashwin just put it there and he went, oh yeah, are you hitting over the top? Are you defending? He was like, no, I just want to sort of move my bat along the line of the ball, see what happens. Neither attacking nor defending. Anyway, the game's over and I'm a big KG man. I just thought, wow, that makes me worry for the future of Test cricket.
It was his fourth. I think it was his fourth ball that he faced, and it's not like Ashwin sort of like set him up and enticed the drive. It was like, no, get that one down there, and
I want to have a beer.
Like,
yeah,
because when mate, with the amount of runs needed in the game, 211 at the beginning of the day, I was thinking, like, once it gets into double digits, it starts getting, maybe there's only 2 wickets left, but they need 85. There's still something in the mind. It's like, you got to be a little bit more defensive because. But it was like, it kind of folded so easily, and then the bloke retires. Mate, I really enjoyed Dean Elgar's review. It's one of those ones where, like, the guys have got 3 reviews now because of the home umpires, that kind of gear. But, like, that's just, I mean, it was ambitious. Yeah. But also, Bumrah's he's got angle thing where, like, how does he get it to swing? But also, like, that was back of a length, but it's never going over. And it's pitching a line. It's not pitching a line, but it's hitting a line. It's hitting the like middle and leg. How does the fuck does he do that from around the wicket? It's he's got some elbow angle shit going on. I suppose, like, if he is coming
round the wicket, and we know that when he comes over, he bowls from cover, then essentially it is stump to stump when he's round the wicket. It's just true. Third one, he goes, the Quinton de Kock retires suddenly. From red ball cricket. That was the adjective they put in there. So a couple of numbers for you here. He goes 54 games, 3,300 runs, an average of just under 39, which will obviously be rounded up over time. 22 50s, 600s, best of 141 not, 221 catches, 11 stumpings. These are very good numbers for a wicket keeper. Very good numbers for a wicket keeper. He's 29, and he said, I'll see you in the ODIs and T20s. He's about to welcome his first child into the world, so he was going to miss the rest of this series anyway, but he decided to pull the Chris Lynn on all of it. And Harsha Bogle tweeted, another arrow leaves the quiver. It's white over red for Quinton de Kock. This is a pretty big dagger in the heart of South African red ball cricket. Is it an equally big dagger in the heart of red ball cricket generally.
Yes. You were saying before, like Rabada's shot was kind of like, oh, this doesn't look too good for Test. This is a guy who, in batting terms, is in the peak of his batting. Now he's already achieved so much in the game, but that's what they say between 29 and 31 or some shit, or like what the fuck does that mean? It's like BMI for batting. But
is BMI bad? Is BMI no good?
Well, it's just inaccurate. It's just inaccurate reads. Okay. Chris Reed. But. Mate, like he's perfectly entitled to do whatever he wants in his career. But like we're in the middle of observing players very reluctantly choose like their white ball contracts in the franchise cricket because they have grown up idolising Test cricket and they want to achieve all those things. Now, Quinton de Kock doesn't owe anything to anyone. He can do whatever he wants, and so but like there's a generation beneath him that are looking at that. And then being like, I'm not going to play Test cricket because I want to play in the IPL. I don't want to play for South Africa. My dream is to play T20 World Cup for South Africa or Australia or England or whoever. And we're seeing this with what's happening with England as well, with like what's the obviously cricket's not on free-to-air television there anymore. There's a whole change which is happening before our eyes. It's happening slowly because this generation of players playing now wanted to play Test, but but there's just heaps of money in it. And what's he supposed to do? Like, he said first kid. I thought it might have been his third kid. Is that wrong? Is it his first?
My understanding,
whatever.
What is
it?
He's got kids. His first kid, and he said he wanted to be there for. Look, I could be wrong too. I'm not sort of like au fait with the status of Quinton de Kock's family at the moment. I think it was his first.
But don't you reckon, man? And I think maybe COVID's compounding this with all the bubbles and the amount of cricket. It's like, well, one thing's got to go. And 10 years ago, letting go of Test cricket was unthinkable. But now it's like. Try and justify Test cricket to a guy who's already played 60 games to be like, no, mate, it's really prestigious. And it's like, yeah, it is. I like looking after my family and everyone associated with me because I'm actually a business and I've actually got like 4 or 5 people that I look after as well outside of my family with like my managers, like, family members, So it's like, what's he supposed to do there? Now, we want everyone to play Test cricket because in our minds, Test cricket is a pinnacle, but that's also reflective of what our age is and what we observe to be the best, the best form of the game. So,
yeah, I mean, if Test cricket takes up 80% of his time, let's say, and covers 20% of his income, it raises a question, doesn't it, about where you want to spend your time, especially if you're about to have Lids, which is a reference to Jimmy Barnes's kids, whose band was called the Tin Lids, and look him up. Look up Jimmy Barnes, Cold Chisel. There's some fucking rock and roll. Now, mate, it's the new economy of cricket. We're seeing a little bit of stuff like this. I mean, the thing that worries me is that, and maybe this is alarmist, and it's just the season at the moment. Things go in cycles, but are Australia the only country going to be left standing to play Test cricket with somewhat like a level of competitiveness against India? Maybe that's going too far. I just wonder how much Quinton de Kock's decision is not just predicated on just the raw economics and finances of it. People. I'm not going to sell people that short, but more an observation about the direction of South African cricket, its priority for red ball cricket, and whether it's worth it against all that backdrop. I mean, he's seen a lot of his teammates retire in the last couple of years. Morné Morkel, Philander, Faf, AB de Villiers, and he looks around and he's like, mate, this is an uphill slog. It can't have been. I mean, Omicron's wreaking havoc. Can't have been great to be playing the game with nobody there. We don't know about the birth of his child or the health of his partner and stuff like that. So it's less about de Kock retiring, though that's a huge blow for South Africa because he is world class. I mean, he probably walks into nearly every Test team as a keeper. Maybe punt edges him out, but for India. But it's concerning more for the macro meaning and how many players will follow him down this path as well. I think we'll all have to adjust to the place of red ball cricket in the changing cricket economy. My dad says, let's just ramble on here. My dad's like, maybe less Test cricket is good. That's what it was like when he was a kid. Maybe it becomes more special. I don't know. I'm just looking for a couple of guys to whack it around in white ball. All right. Anything else on that, Higgins?
Well, I know there'll be a few guys in the comments keen to see the Border Gavaskar Trophy every 4 months. So,
Yeah, so they say for now.
yeah, for now, yeah.
I'm keen to see India versus India A shortly. I think that's the game. Don't pander. Hashtag AskTGC. He goes, all thanks for those great insurers. It's great digital insurers at ACO.
That's right. Yeah.
Harish writes in, Harish1105, just to be clear, there's a couple of Harishes before him.
That's right.
I like he tried every number until that point. So, hashtag AskTGC, did you make any videos or snap some pics during that 80 drink bender? Because fuck, I'd like to see that.
Did you?
No, I wasn't vlogging. I mean, I feel like we were performing the entire time. I feel like, anyway, certainly holding court. But no, sorry, there's no evidence, Your Honour.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen. I was pretty keen not to incriminate myself. So, but also, yeah, if you're sort of having a few beers, 80 drinks is a bit much. There's a bit of mayo on that. But
bit of tax.
you put the phone away and you enjoy the time with the people that you're around. It was a nice bar and the sun was setting, and you don't really get the phone out and capture it. You're just in that moment, says the guy with 1,000 cameras in front of him right now. Phone pinging off here, just, sagely advising around when not to use phones.
That's right.
I'll never tell anybody my screen time per week.
Yeah. I've got 9 studio lights in my kitchen. I do some cooking. Sometimes I'm cooking for like some Food Channel gear. Couldn't have a single bite.
Nah, mate, absolute stuff.
All right, Pez. Well, the next game starts in about 7 minutes. We'll be covering all of that. Of course, the Ashes are still a thing going on. The next test is I think it's in Joburg, the next test. Or is it? No, yeah, and the third one's in Cape Town. So plenty going on here. Thanks as ever for tuning in. Click subscribe if you're new here. And if you're old here, don't click subscribe again. That'd be ridiculous. See you guys next time.